Madam Speaker, also to contribute to this motion. Madam Speaker, when we were growing up, there were cotton industries and textile industries in Kenya. Particularly in Eldoret, we had Rivertex, Raymond, and others. We had Kikomi in Kisumu, and many others, Madam Speaker. We had cotton growing in the regions of Bungoma, Busia, and other parts of the country, and Kenya used to produce, we used to produce textile, Madam Speaker. Not anymore. And the other day, Madam Speaker, I read in the newspaper and I saw something like Nakuru and other parts of Kenya have become a graveyard of industries. Many industries collapsed because this very important industry, Madam Speaker, was sustained by the raw materials that were produced from our farms. And cotton was one of them, and including tobacco within the regions of Bungoma, Busia, and parts of Nyanza. Madam Speaker, they were producing these cash crops, and they were, Madam Speaker, they are the ones which were sustaining these industries. So, Madam Speaker, I believe that if we want to sustain ourselves, if we want to develop as a country, we must have homegrown solutions. And homegrown solutions, Madam Speaker, will come about if we revive these industries. If we put back and the farmers, Madam Speaker, right now if you call the villages, you see the level of poverty because of the collapse of these industries. Madam Speaker, the government and especially the county government, I think they should do something that they can revive these, Madam Speaker, these industries and make sure that the sustainability is coming from our farms. And this was something that was giving a lot of hope to our people, and also something that was all boosting our economy. Right now we are struggling as a country. Our economy is solely dependent on imports and many things, Madam Speaker. We are importing almost anything and everything from our neighbors and especially from China, from Asia, and parts of China, India, and all that, Madam Speaker. Yet we used to export. You see, even sometimes you used to go and see the blankets you see produced in Nakuru, produced in Eldoret, in Kisumu, and used to be thicker textile mills was there, Madam Speaker, and all this was sustained by our local farmers. Madam Speaker, very little was imported to these industries. So for us to sustain and develop as a country, we must revive this very important, Madam Speaker, industry, and encourage our farmers also to grow this cash crop. And the government must deliberately just now invest in agriculture, because that is the sector that is sustaining our economy. And if we just look, Madam Speaker, including now, we find that even the maize, pyrethrum, and the other cash crops that were there, Madam Speaker, coffee, are no longer, Madam Speaker, they are now competing from the other regions, that Kenya is no longer one of the leading exporter of these products. So we need to see how we can revive, invest more in our industries. Sugar is struggling. We find our tea industries. We find many other crops, Madam Speaker. So we should look and be very worried when we see headlines like what I saw in a Sunday newspaper about becoming the graveyard of industries. These industries, Madam Speaker, when you look around, sugar industries have collapsed. The gineries that were there, Madam Speaker, they are no longer there. And the sad thing is that these very same people who are manufacturing within our country. They just moved to our neighbors and continued with the same business. So I believe something went wrong somewhere, but we have, Madam Speaker, the capacity to revive it. Kenya has been rated as one of the biggest economy within the East African region and within Africa. But if we continue on this trend, then we will no longer be a factor in this region, Madam Speaker, because the factors that sustain our economy are collapsing. Even coffee we cannot be very sure anymore, and tea, and also you see even Telmondo in Thika. We've seen that their leases have expired and some of those farms are being now taken back. So if that happens, we will know that some of those industries might just go down. So Madam Speaker, thank you, and I want to also congratulate my sister Mary Mase for bringing this motion, because it's a very, very important motion, and I hope that we will pass it, and then the government will take serious steps to revive these industries. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Member for Westlands. Honorable members, I would like to welcome students seated in the public gallery this morning from the following schools: St. James Mixed Secondary School. All the schools are from Kirinyaga Central, Kirinyaga County. You are welcome to the National Assembly to observe proceedings